Marlon isn't one person, at least not in the way you think. Everything Marlon does plays into a bigger performance, a career built on turning himself into different characters online.
Going for the camera as myself, but it's like up by 10, by 20, by 30.
Sometimes he's a cringy TikToker, others he's an IRL streamer or a fashion model. It feels like every few months he's onto an entirely new thing, and yet every time he changes character, the crowd gets bigger. But what if I told you none of it happened by an accident? It was a process. Think of it as a plastic bottle. The harder you squeeze, the more you extract. But the closer you get to the end, the harder it becomes to push. And Marlon,
I want to squeeze.
To understand why, I have come to realize the answer to the question, it is far more complicated than you would think. Because it was never about the views or the money. To understand Marlon, we need to go back before he even discovered social media, back to where he was starting to figure out something far more simple, how to get people's attention. Marlon Ludgren Garcia was born on September 7, 2001 in Malmö, Sweden. Long before the cameras were rolling, his first obsession came in the shape of basketball. Marlon grinded his way to the top. Eventually, he was ranked as one of the top 5 players in the entire country, but being the best in Sweden wasn't enough. So, he began cold emailing his highlight reels to every single coach he could find online. After hundreds of messages sent into the void, one finally said yes. And with that came a scholarship. So he moved to Washington to play competitively for a junior college team called Red Devils. For a brief moment, Marlon was living his dream life. He was thousands of miles away from home. His career was peaking, and he was squeezing that bottle harder than ever before. But as he got closer to the end, he got comfortable.
I've been kind of falling off the track.
And the moment you stop pushing, the bottle goes right back up. In a snap of a finger, the scholarship was gone. The dream was dead. And he was back home working jobs he hated, just to help his mother in any way he could. And for the first time ever, he was lost, like he had no purpose. Until he found it. Marlon's first footprint on the internet wasn't even on his own account. January 9th, 2024. He was just a background character in Tyrik's video. But the audience has a way to spot the next rising star before the creators themselves. That video exploded overnight. The next day, Marlon downloaded the app, made his first TikTok, and hit upload. Within 24 hours, he watched over 300,000 views roll in. It was textbook thirst trap content, lip-syncing to trending songs. He fully leaned into the pretty boy image, and it worked. Marlon gained over 1 million followers in less than a year. But there was just one problem. On TikTok, you aren't a person. Your entire self-worth is measured by their trends. People scroll, watch the 15-second clip, leave a like, maybe a comment or a follow if they're feeling generous, and swipe away. Sure, Marlon was getting views, but he wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't building a community. So he made a decision. If he wanted to squeeze the bottle to the fullest, he had to pivot to a new platform, Twitch. Now growing on Twitch, that's a different beast. It's not like TikTok, where a single lucky clip can shoot you into the algorithm's stratosphere. Twitch is brutal, it's slow, and honestly, it is the hardest platform to build an audience on. And if you're like Marlon, trying to pursue streaming full-time, you need to understand, there's levels to this. At level 1, you can quit your job. At level 2, you're living large. And at level 3, you're the top 1% of the top 1%. Now there's no direct transition between Twitch viewers to money. So for the sake of this example, we're gonna say you reach level 1 at around 100 viewers. Once you're there, you can take the leap to streaming full-time, which getting there sounds really easy. It's not. Somehow convincing 100 people to watch you live is brutal. In the past year, 18.4 million people opened up Twitch and broadcasted live on the platform. I want you to guess how many actually made it to level 1. Seriously, throw a number out there. The answer is 165,536. That's less than 1%. I'm throwing all these numbers at you for a reason, because without them, you wouldn't understand how truly insane what happens next is. You see, Marlon hit level 1 during the first 40 minutes of his 40th stream, and he didn't get lucky. Just days after his first stream, he grabbed a piece of paper and wrote down his stats. 866 Twitch followers, 338 YouTube subscribers, and a schedule to follow. After each stream, he would take the best moments, clip them, and fire them back to TikTok. For 3 months. 3 months of posting non-stop content without seeing any results. By the end of it, Marlon was broke. But he couldn't afford to lose his dream for the second time, so he kept going. Then came a lifeline, a modeling gig in Turkey.
But the only problem why I didn't want to do it was because it was going to be that I was away for a week straight. If I'm away for a week straight, I wouldn't be able to stream on my desktop. And I had a schedule for a full year. Y'all have seen the paper.
With his bank account empty, Marlon had no choice. So he packed his bags and went to Turkey. But he wasn't planning on taking a break. Sitting in a lonely hotel room, staring at 2 phones, a desperate idea sparked. He didn't know how to do an IRL stream, but he had to learn right then and there. After 3 hours of research, he pulled up his chat on the pink phone, hit go live on the second, and walked to the local McDonald's. Just like usual, he clipped the chaos, uploaded it to TikTok, and went to bed.
Watch the wrist, chat. Watch the wrist. Thank you, darling.
That video alone pulled over 600,000 views overnight. So for the rest of the week,
Didn't show up once. That entire week, there was castings they were selling to be at, and they just paid for my entire stay. They paid for hotel and my flight back home, and I just acted like I was there every time.
and that same night, he sparked his stream and the floodgates finally opened.
That's crazy. Y'all really recognize me for real? Yeah. Wow. Huh? 1 week ago. Oh yeah? TikTok, it just blew the... Bro, I know, bro. Everybody's telling me right now. Like,
TikTok was completely flooded with his face, and this time, he wasn't the one who was mimicking the algorithm. He was dominating it. The momentum carried him across America, 2 weeks in LA, 3 weeks in Miami, where he instantly bonded with the fellow streamer, Lacey. Then straight to New York. Stream after stream, the numbers kept climbing. It seemed like Marlon had found a gold mine.
The past month, I've been averaging over like 100, and then the past week, I've averaged like, or the past days, I've averaged like 140, bro.
And then the clock ran out. His visa expired, forcing him to go back home.
Once I got home in the basement,
Marlon refused to let his momentum die in his mom's basement, but with little to no money, his options were limited. He managed to rent an abandoned garage just 3 hours away from the city, so he packed his bags once again and moved in.
I'm tired of jumping around from crib to crib, bro. I'm tired of bro. I'm tired of bro. I'm here and I'm here to stay, bro. We're gonna make this work, bro.
The garage was isolating, but the content didn't stop. In fact, it was about to level up. Remember Lacey, the streamer Marlon met earlier in Miami? The duo decided to double down on their chemistry. They took a trip to Mexico.
We're in Mexico!
And the community loved it. The magic of these two was that the audience didn't just felt like viewers, they felt like they were just right there, pulling up a chair just to hang out with their 2 genuine friends.
What did the chicken say when he tried to cross the road?
I don't know.
I gotta get to the other side.
Marlon had the audience and he had the momentum. But you can only stream from freezing garage for so long before the ceilings start to close in. The garage had served its purpose, but now it was becoming a cage.
I've literally had family tell me like, bro, are you not gonna go get a normal job at 9 to 5 just to like make some money? I'm like, nah.
Marlon was ready to go all in, but there was just one thing money couldn't buy. After months of waiting and legal hurdles, Marlon didn't know what to do.
Every single day I've been praying, I've been talking to people, lawyers, this, that, and the other to help me get this visa, bro.
On January 20th, 2025, Marlon finally touched down in Los Angeles. No house, no setup, just a vision. It all started with the air mattress and a borrowed PC by the kindness of fellow YouTuber Nick Narcia. In an ironic twist of fate, Marlon found himself in a position that looked like a downgrade, a backyard shed.
Welcome to the crib!
He spent his first 2 weeks in America renovating it, turning a literal storage space into a streaming studio.
There we are, bro. Facebook Marketplace, Home Depot table, camera and monitors I got from back home. I always had them. Put in this myself, the foam and everything. Bought it from Facebook Marketplace.
He had moved half across the world just to end up in an even smaller room. But this time, he had no ceiling. Within days of streaming from that backyard shed, Marlon's audience didn't just grow, it erupted. He wasn't just collaborating, he was making real-life friends in the streaming space. Jason, Ron, Lacey all became recurring personalities. During this period, the numbers stopped making sense. Marlon's channel exploded in popularity. His average viewership nearly doubled, soaring from 1100 to nearly 6,000 viewers in what felt like a blink of an eye. The growth didn't stop there. Stream after stream, the numbers kept climbing. Marlon was streaming an average of nearly 100 hours a month, and the grind was paying off. He was finally being noticed by the industry titans. Names like XQC, Mr. Beast, and Aaron Ross weren't just icons anymore. They were becoming real-life friends with him, and every collaboration sent his popularity into a new atmosphere. He was crushing bottle after bottle, pushing his momentum farther than ever before, and somewhere along the way, he even bought a house. But just beyond the wave of success was something even bigger, an opportunity that would take everything Marlon had built and launch it into another universe. He was going back to Europe. In the summer of 2025, Marlon set his sight on something bigger, a full-scale tour across half of Europe, to trying Nando's in London, to becoming the first streamer to ever walk the runway at the Paris Fashion Week, to playing football with Marcelo in Spain.
Nah. You're lying. You're lying.
But there was one more country he had to visit, Sweden.
In 6 months, what's the goal? I'm pulling up here with my dream car, bro. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, bro.
And he did. In just 1 month, Marlon's average viewership would climb over to 12,000 viewers per stream, a 174% increase from the last month. That proved he hadn't just made it in America, he made it everywhere. From there, Marlon hit the pedal. He launched his first clothing brand, which sold out in less than 30 minutes. His streams with Martha reached the absolutely peak of his career, surpassing over 70,000 concurrent viewers.
70K today. Like, what the?
And this is level 2. Now you are in big boy money territory. Yet, Marlon wasn't done. On August 24th, 2025, he and Lacey locked themselves into a Minecraft marathon that pushed the limits of what a stream could even be. Their rooms were transferred into a high fantasy world, filled with custom builds, detailed props, and outfits came straight out of the game. They weren't just playing Minecraft, they were living in
As you
it.
can see, we are actually in Minecraft. You see the windows, the library.
Yes.
For 76 hours straight, every meal and every hour of sleep happened live on camera.
Bro, you just snapped your bed in half!
Until they beat the game. And during it, Marlon hit a milestone that takes most creators a lifetime to reach. 1 million followers on Twitch. Along with that,
We just hit 1.2 million on Twitch. Now we're hitting 5 million hours watched, bro. Thank God, boys.
although eventually the momentum began to lack. The bottle was going up again. It felt like Marlon wasn't evolving anymore. Like he was stuck in a loop of 4 things: girl content, gym, group content, and desktop streams. He wasn't losing his audience, but he wasn't gaining one either until he realized it and decided to push his momentum to new heights.
It's been a while now, and I feel like I'm just in LA. I'm behind a desktop, and I'm tired of it. I want to do something for my community for once, like something big, like Europe. That was huge, but bigger this time.
On October 20th, 2025, Marlon dropped a 3-minute trailer. Not a clip, not a teaser, a full-blown cinematic trailer. A non-stop marathon where he attempted to visit 50 states in 28 days. It was scripted, scored, and shot like an actual film, complete with lighting setups, camera crews, and VFX. Over 23 people worked on this trailer alone. From the very first minute, it was clear Marlon was about to push himself past his limits. This wasn't a normal live stream, it was a 24/7 marathon. He was living on a tour bus, racing to hit 2 states in a single day, while exploring for 4 hours, collaborating with various creators as he went through each state, and on top of that physical exhaustion, he had to find the energy to keep the live audience entertained for every second of the journey. There was no off button, no privacy, just the constant pressure of performing while the world watched him navigate through the madness in real time.
Hey, you do what daddy says, okay? Good boy.
And Marlon went on to close the year strong. He won the 2025 Rising Star of the Year award.
Oh man. It's kind of crazy, you know. It's been a long year. I just want to start by thanking God. He kept me grounded, kept my faith. Want to thank my team, of course, Jake, Rocket, Miles, Ozzy, Matt, my editors, Dylan, Alley, everybody that's been helping me out. And then, of course, Lacey, all the face guys, everybody I collab with, you know, y'all pushed me this year. So thank y'all. I wouldn't be here without y'all, so I appreciate y'all. I want to say last name, my bad. There's a lot of doubters, a lot of haters always gonna talk, but they're not the ones standing on the stage. So appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all.
As 2026 began, Marlon was in Qatar, training with world-class players for the Hope charity match. And just days after that, news had broken that he was about to join the cast of Inside, a Netflix reality series created by the Sidemen. Now, being featured in a Sidemen video is a career-defining moment for any creator.
Personally, me, when I get nervous, like,
But a Netflix production, that is a whole new achievement entirely. Then came the moment that would put him in front of the largest audience of his entire career, the Sidemen charity match. All 90,000 seats of Wembley sold out. Over 2.7 million people tuned in live, standing on that pitch next to icons like ASI, Jinxie, and XQC. Something shifted. Marlon wasn't the weird kid who was trying to make a name for himself on social media. He was one of them. He was part of the club that he once watched from outside.
Shout out to the Sidemen. It's blessings, 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 bro.
He had the numbers, the clout, the collaborations, Wembley Stadium crowds, Netflix credits, his name alongside the biggest creators on the planet. And just a few days ago, Marlon and his 5 close friends didn't just collab, they committed. They moved into a massive content house together, officially launching a new era, the Core Boys.
Wait, Marlon is in there?
Who got creative, bro? Look what God created. Who would have thought when I met Lacey in Miami with absolutely zero money, zero anything to my name, would make me be here in a $20 million house vibing with the guys. That's my dogs.
But for Marlon, none of this was the finish line, because long before the Tush records, the content houses, and the sold out stadiums, this all started in a quiet Melbourne suburb with a kid who promised himself one thing.
All I am is just a small streamer with big dreams who's trying to build a big community and make it out of his mom's basement.
He did exactly that. But the most important part of Marlon's rise isn't the explosive growth or the millions of followers.
1 viewer, 10,000 viewers, or 40,000 viewers. My biggest goal in life is to always stay the same. Genuinely.
I'm delusional. I've been delusional. I don't think I would be here if I wasn't delusional. Everybody knows that it's only delusional until you do it, right?
I went to Miami all by myself, gang. All by myself. With my last pocket change, bro. My last pocket change. I'm eating this shit because I don't have no money to buy real food.
I think about this every day. Go to bed, wake up, pray about it, sleep about it, think about it. I'm dead ass top 2 fastest growing IRL Twitch streamers right now on Twitch. God willingly, the only one that stopped me from not being the biggest right now is myself in my mind.
This is how I see it. This is the ball right here of my whole career and everything I prayed for. That ball is right there, right? This is how I was born and how my character is off stream and offline. But as long as this just stays solid, this can just take off.
Sure, the bottle might be crushed, but the journey itself, I think he's just getting started.
Thank you, God, for allowing me to be here and do what I love to do in front of the people who's watching this. God, I pray for everybody's health in here. I pray for their families and their friends, their loved ones. God, I pray to keep them safe. God, I pray to forgive them for all their sins so they can move on and be a better person in life. God, thank you, God, for allowing me to have this life and be who I am and try to be a better person, God. Please forgive me for my sins. Make me a better man. Amen. Amen.